creativity is the process of putting together patterns that you've never put together before. That's how I define it. And so when you look at a painter, that painter is putting together patterns of shapes and colors that they've never put together before in that way. When I write a poem, I'm putting together patterns of words in orders that I've never put together before. And personal development and consciousness is the same thing. When we look to expand our consciousness, what are we saying? We're looking to expand the patterns that we can see. And when we look at personal development, what are we doing? We're looking at the patterns that led to our current situation. We're going, what happened in my past that's causing me to feel this way in the present so that I can more consciously choose what I want to create in the future? And that's a process of creativity. It's a process of being able to spot patterns and put them together in new orders that you hadn't put together before. And so when we get better at creativity, the process of putting together new patterns, we get better at the process of expanding our consciousness. And that is the entire game here. To me, that's what this whole human journey is about, is the expansion of consciousness. And so why not improve the way you play the game? Why not get better at this thing? Because it actually opens up so much more possibility for what you can accomplish and feel and see happen in your life.
When we open ourselves up to that, it can reveal a lot of painful things, all right? So what are some precursors to doing that better that you've understood?
Well, I think that the number one, just like the number one thing is you got to start.
Yeah.
So many people just sit in the space of never doing it because they think it won't be perfect, or they're afraid of being judged, or fill in the blank. There's a million reasons. They don't have time. They're not good enough. It's just a hobby. It's not realistic. What's the point? Okay. We all have that. And the thing that separates those who are creating the lives that they really love versus those who are not is the willingness to actually do it. There, like, you can go into all the variables about why, or particular wounds or fears, but the core common denominator amongst all the people that you admire that are living lives that you would love to emulate, they're doing it. They're doing it. And there's no getting around that. There's no meditating in a cave until you hit a point where you're not going to have to take action. You will have to take action. And so that's the starting point. And that can look really simple. That can look like just picking up a guitar and starting to practice. It could look like starting to write poetry. It could look, before even starting to write poetry, it could look like just starting to journal on a daily basis. The starting point is the key. And there's no getting around that. Beyond that, I think that removing the pressure for the thing that you're learning, practicing, exploring, being curious about, it's important to remove the pressure for that thing to be the answer to all your problems. You don't just start playing guitar because you need to become a professional musician. Don't start writing poetry because you need to become a world famous poet. You start doing the thing that brings you joy, that you genuinely have a curiosity about, and trust that that is your soul, God, spirit, whatever words you want to use, but you're following the breadcrumbs on this scavenger hunt for your soul. And who knows where it leads. But if you think that the first breadcrumb has to be the solution to everything, you're going to generally be disappointed and put a lot of pressure on something that could be fun otherwise.
I guess that for a lot of people, the motivation is the motivation to do something different, the motivation to change something or bring something into your life, say pick up the guitar, is often predicated on that thing solving the problems. So
100%.
So I always speak to people about like what is the motivation, and often it's pain, often it's discomfort of like staying where you currently are, and it's this kind of dance between not letting something go beyond the point of non-return, and actually like bringing something in that's going to help and being creative to actually change your reality.